And a report on causes of the recent global financial crisis has sparked anger over the authors of the meltdown. The document released by U.S. Investigative Commission points finger at the country's economic elite. But as RT's Lyster reports, previous experience showed those responsible are likely to go unpunished.
It wasn't so long ago the world was reeling from a financial crisis. And in the financial capital of the world, hard-hit Americans were calling for heads to roll on Wall Street. Many blamed irresponsible and illegal actions of bigwig bankers for the economy's near collapse.
If I did that, if he did that, if he did that, we'd be in jail.
It was born from this mess the U.S. president formed a bipartisan commission to get to the bottom of the crisis.
It is our hope that together we can rebuild the American people's belief in a financial system that puts Americans to work.
Over a year, they heard from stewards of the economy.
The most important lesson of this crisis is we have to end too big to fail.
They heard from CEOs of investment banks.
Anyone who says, I wouldn't change a thing, I think is crazy.
Now the Meltdown panel believes the answers to this outrage can be found here in 500-plus pages of their findings. It gives them enough room to point the finger everywhere for a crisis they say was avoidable.
We do place special responsibility with the public leaders who are charged with protecting our financial system, those entrusted to run our regulatory agencies, and the chief executives of companies whose failures drove us to crisis. But we believe that we must also, as a nation, accept responsibility for what we permitted to occur.
And as far as Wall Street specifically,
the dramatic failures of corporate governance and risk management at many systemically significant financial firms were critical causes of the crisis.
While blame is directed at Wall Street, that's where we are right now, the irony is, though the New York Stock Exchange is here, that's what you see behind me, most of the big banks and investment firms people associate with the financial crisis aren't even here anymore. They're spread out all over New York City. So just as Wall Street has become merely a symbol of the American financial industry, so too is Washington's condemnation of it, like we're seeing in this report. The reality is, we've seen this all before. We've already seen congressional hearings where U.S. lawmakers interrogated bankers. We've heard lawmakers threaten those in charge of the economy. Yet no one on Wall Street or that was watching over finance has faced criminal charges. No one has really been held accountable. And by many accounts, nothing has changed about financial practices.
Most of the people who were in power before the crisis are still in power. Most of the business practices that, other than a few things, are still going on.
And now, nearly 3 years after the crisis, the opportunity for this commission to sway public opinion and make any difference to those practices has seemingly passed it by.
That ship has sailed. The moments, these political moments, when everything comes together and you can pass this kind of comprehensive reform legislation, are these evanescent little bubbles, and they don't last very long, and we missed ours.
So for the American people who wanted Wall Street held responsible,
these guys have looted the American economy, the global economy.
They may not get the justice they're looking for. 500 pages and a year later, a world once sent reeling by a financial system on the verge of collapse may be no more protected from it happening again.
I'm not sure that we can prevent it from happening again.
Lyster, RT, New York.